Greetings, family. Once again, this is Chief Kalanago Flying Eagle. I want to take the time to acknowledge the great spirit, universal intelligence, universal all. I want to acknowledge my ancestors, asking them for strength, guidance, protection. I know that no weapons formed against me shall prosper. And I know that my ancestors will help me and guide me and prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. And my enemies will bow before me because they have no power over me and they shall have not any victory over me. So, with that being said, I want you guys to do me a favor, please, and go ahead and share this video. Okay, make sure you share this on your respective platforms. All right, we got to get these things out as soon as possible. It's imperative that we get this information out here to the people, and that's why I'm coming here and I'm giving you this information back to back. All right, let me just make sure I have audio on here. Yes, I got audio. All right, so guys, go ahead and do me a favor, please, man. Go ahead and share that information on your respective platforms. Go ahead and tag people in this information, man. Just tag people, tag people, tag people. All right. If you're on YouTube, share the information. If you're on Facebook, tag people. This is very, very, very important. Okay. It's crucial that we share this information and take this information and make sure that it goes viral. Okay. I put three links in the comments, and those links that is for you to go ahead and do your own research. All right, I tell people I'm not here to instigate any kind of fear. However, I am here to bring you the information so that you could be aware of what's going on. All right, so you could educate your family and friends. Okay, so with that being said, let's get some people on. Let's get some people on here, guys. Let's get some people on here. Okay, let's get some people on here. So I'm going to wait just a few more minutes so we could get this thing started. All right. I'm going to wait a few more minutes. Okay. Wait a few more minutes. Let me see if I could find, I wonder if I could get the link to share this information here. Let me see for a second. Give me a second here. I'm trying to see if I could find the link for that. All right, let me see. Anyway, where can I find that? Feedback report quality. All right, guys. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and I guess people would just have to catch the recording of this because I know people are at work, and I'm not gonna wait for people to be available. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share my screen. All right, and we're gonna do a little bit of a reading. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of reading, and this is a PDF. I have the PDF in the link below. For those of you that want to do your own reading, okay, feel free to do so as well, because I don't want you guys to think I'm just making that information up. Okay, so this is from cdc.gov. Okay, so I'm just giving you the source that it came from, and this is the National Strategy for Pandemic Influenza. Okay, implementation plan. Homeland Security, May 2006. Now, for those of you who don't know who was the president in 2006, well, go ahead and Google that. All right. So here we are. National Strategy for Pandemic Influenza Implementation Plan. Okay. Homeland Security 2006. My fellow Americans. All right. My fellow, and that's from the White House, Washington. Okay. My fellow Americans. On November 1st, 2005, I announced the National Strategy for Pandemic Influenza, a comprehensive approach to addressing the threat of pandemic influenza, our strategy outlines how we are preparing for and how we will detect and respond a potential pandemic. Since then, our nation has taken a series of historic steps to address the pandemic threat. In December, the Congress appropriated 3.8 billion, the International Partnership for the Avian and Pandemic Influenza, which we launched at the United Nations in September 2005. Now, we're not going to read the entire thing. We're going to scroll down, all right? And that was signed by George Bush, okay, May of 2006. And you, of course, you have the table of contents, all right? U.S. government planning for a pandemic, et cetera, et cetera. Let me scroll down all the way. And we're just going to do a little bit of reading, not a whole lot, all right? Now, preface. In the last century, 3 influenza pandemics have swept the globe. In 1918, the first pandemic, sometimes referred to as the Spanish flu, killed over 500,000 Americans and more than 20 million people worldwide. 1/3 of the United States population was infected, and average life expectancy was reduced by 13 years. Pandemics in 1957 and 1968 killed tens of thousands of Americans and millions across the world. Scientists believe that virus from birds played a role, etc., etc., etc. Today, we face a new threat, a new influenza strain, a H5N1 is spreading through the bird population across Asia, Africa, and Europe, infecting domesticated birds, including ducks and chickens and long-range migratory birds. The first recorded appearance of H5N1 in humans occurred in Hong Kong in 1997. Since then, the virus has infected over 200 people in the Eastern Hemisphere with a mortality rate of over 50%. All right, let's scroll down some more. We have chapter 1, the pandemic threat. Give me a second here. Okay. The pandemic threat. Influenza viruses have been threatened the health of animals and humans populations for centuries. Their diversity and propensity for mutation have thwarted our efforts to develop both a universal vaccine and highly effective antiviral drugs. A pandemic occurs when a novel strain of influenza virus emerges that has the ability to infect and be passed between humans. Being human, have little immunity to the new virus, a worldwide epidemic or pandemic can ensue. 3 human influenzas pandemic occurred in the 20th century, each resulting in illness in approximately 30% of the world population and death in 0.2% to 2% of those infected. Using this historical information and current models of disease transmission, it is projected that a modern pandemic could lead to the deaths of over 200,000 to 2 million people in the United States alone. All right. The animal population serves as a reservoir for new influenza viruses. Scientists have believed that the avian or bird viruses played a role in the last 3 pandemics. The current concern for a pandemic arises from an unprecedented outbreak of HR-N1 influenza in the birds that began in 1997 and has spread across bird populations in Asia, Europe, and Africa. The virus has shown the ability to infect multiple species, including long-range migratory birds, pigs, cats, and humans. It is possible to predict whether the H5N1 virus will lead to a pandemic, but history suggests that if it does not, another novel influenza virus will emerge at some point in the future and threaten an unprotected human population. The economic and social disruption of an influenza pandemic could be significant. Absenteeism across multiple sectors related to personal illness, illness in family members' fear of congestion or public health measures to limit contact with others could threaten the functioning of critical infrastructure, the movement of goods and services, and operation of institutions such as schools and universities. A pandemic would thus have significant implications for the economy, national security, and basic functioning of society. So you'll see they have set up the precedents, okay, to put you in fear. All right, put you in fear. All right. Number two, chapter two, U.S. government planning for a pandemic. The president announced the national strategy for a pandemic influenza strategy on November 1st, 2005. The strategy provides a high level overview of the approach that the federal government will take to prepare for and respond to a pandemic and articulates expectations of non-federal entities to prepare themselves and their communities. The strategy contains three pillars. One, preparedness and communications. Two, surveillance and detections. And three, response and containment. All right. Preparedness for a pandemic requires the establishment of infrastructure and capacity, a process that can take years. For this reason, significant steps must be taken now. The strategy affirms that the federal government will use all instruments of national power to address the pandemic threat. The federal government will collaborate fully with international partners to attempt containment of a potential pandemic whenever sustained and efficient human-to-human transmission is documented. And it will make every reasonable effort to delay the introduction of a pandemic virus to the United States. If these efforts fail, responding effectively to an uncontained pandemic domestically will require the full participation of all levels of government and all segments of society. The implementation plan for the strategy make it clear that every segment of society must prepare for a pandemic and will be part of the response. The plan further recognizes that the federal government must provide clear criteria and these decision tools to inform state, local, and private sector planning and response actions, and that federal agencies must be prepared to supplement and support state and local efforts where necessary and feasible. The strategy must be translated into tangible action that fully engages the breadth of the federal government. This plan provides a common frame of reference for understanding the pandemic threat and summarizes key planning considerations for all partners. It also proposes that the federal departments and agencies take specific coordinated steps to achieve the goals of the strategy and outline expectations of non-federal stakeholders in the United States and abroad. Stakeholders in the United States and abroad. All right. Which brings me to this point, but I will hold on here for a second. So just so you know, okay, there are stakeholders, non-federal stakeholders in the United States. Because again, the United States is a business. We don't have a government. We got a huge business. All right. Just so y'all know, joint and integrated planning across all levels of governments. Well, let me replace that with corporations and private sector is essential to ensure the available national capabilities and authorities producing detailed plans and response actions that are complementary, compatibility, and coordinated. The federal corporation has already taken a historic series of actions domestically and internationally to address the pandemic threat. The actions include the development of a promising human vaccine against the H5N1 avian influenza virus, the submission of 7.1 billion budget request over several years to support pandemic preparedness, the establishment of the International Partnership on Avian and Pandemic Influenza, and the first cabinet level exercise to assess the federal corporation response to a naturally occurring threat. All right, number three, and I will read just that last one for now. The federal corporation respond to a pandemic. The goal of the federal corporation response to a pandemic are: one, stop, slow, or otherwise limit the spread of the pandemic to the United States; limit the domestic spread of a pandemic and mitigate disease, suffering, and death. Number three, sustain infrastructure and mitigate impact to the economy and the functioning of society. See stages of federal cooperation response between chapter 5 and 6. Unlike geographically and temporarily bounded disasters, a pandemic will spread across the globe over the course of months or over a year, possibly in waves, and will affect communities of all sizes and conditions. For those of you who don't know, that is a prophecy. Okay? That is a prophecy. I'm going to repeat that again. Let's read here. So if y'all don't know, this was already written in stone. Okay? The highlighted blue section, because a lot of people don't read and research. All right? Here we are. Unlike geographically and temporarily bonded disasters, a pandemic, it didn't say may, it says will. In other words, we know it's going to happen. Keyword, will. We are going to will it into existence, spread across the globe, not just the United States, not just in Africa where they said it's coming from, not just in Hong Kong, but across the world, globally, over the course of months or over years, possibly in waves. That's why they keep telling you a new wave, because it's already planned. It's a pandemic and will affect communities of all sizes and compositions. In terms of its scope, the impact of a severe pandemic may be more comparable to that of a war or a widespread economic crisis than a hurricane, earthquake, or an act of terrorism. So they're telling you what they're implementing on you, okay? In terms of a scope or of its scope, the impact of a severe pandemic may be more comparable to that of what? Act of war or a widespread economic crisis, worse than a hurricane, earthquake, or an act of terrorism. So what they're implementing or what they have implemented on the human race is worse than terrorism. But you see, people will fail to read that one word. The word, the power is in the word. Reading with comprehension. Will. It didn't say a pandemic may. It's a possibility we may have a global. No, they say what? In other words, we are telling you we know for a fact. I'm going to read this again. Okay? Just in case. Unlike geographically and temporarily bonded disasters, they're telling you unlike. They're comparing it to those geographically, meaning that areas, certain demographics, right, of land. Okay? And temporarily bonded disasters, because disasters are temporary. A pandemic will, not might, but will spread across the globe over the course of months and years, possibly in waves, and will what? And not might, but will affect communities of all sizes and compositions. So like I told you, this has nothing to do with the color of skin. This is all about commerce. And I promise you, they already have insurance on you because they have insurance on your birth certificates. Just like how they had insurance on slaves. So whether the slaves died or not, they were getting paid. It's a business. You are nothing but a commercial commodity, transmitting utilities. Okay? So, it says, in addition to the coordinating or comprehensive and timely national response, the federal government will bear primary responsibility for certain critical functions, including the support of containment efforts overseas and limitations of arrival of the pandemic in our shores, guidance related to protective measures that should be taken, modifications to the law and regulations to facilitate the national pandemic response. Well, I'm not going to say regulations to the laws, regulations to their rules, because those are not laws. Modifications to a monetary policy to mitigate the economic impact of pandemic on communities and the nation. or the corporation, rather, it's not a nation. Okay, procurement and distribution of a vaccine and an antiviral medications, and 6, the acceleration of a research and development of vaccines and therapies during the outbreak. So they are telling you exactly what they were planning in advance. We are telling you that it will happen. A global pandemic, we know it's going to happen. And we are telling you exactly what we're going to do. And we are going to create an accelerated, all right, research and development of a vaccine. You see, people don't read. You see what I'm saying? Or maybe you just don't know where to read. They're giving you the information. You dig? It's right there in their own documents. The center of gravity of the pandemic response, however, will be in communities. You hear that? The center of gravity of the pandemic response, however, will be in communities. The distributed nature of the pandemic, as well as the sheer burden of disease across the nation over a period of months or longer, means that the federal corporation support to any particular state, tribal, nation, or community will be limited in comparison to the aid in the it mobilizes for disasters such as earthquakes or hurricanes, which strike a more confined geographic area over a shorter period of time. Local communities will have to address the medical and non-medical effects of the pandemic with available resources. This means that it is essential for communities, tribes, states, and regions to have plans in place to support the full spectrum of their needs over the course of weeks and months, and for the federal corporation to provide clear guidance on the manner in which these needs can be met. All right, command, control, and coordination of the federal response during a pandemic. It is important that the federal corporation have a defined mechanism for coordination of its response. The National Response Plan, NRP, is the primary mechanism for the coordination of the federal corporation response to incidents of national significance and will guide the federal pandemic response. It defines federal departmental responsibilities for sector-specific response and provides the structure and mechanisms for the effective coordination among federal, state, local, and tribal authorities, the private sector, and non-corporation organizations, NGOs, pursuant to the NRP and Homeland Security Presidential Directive 5, HSPS-5. The Secretary of Homeland Security is responsible for the coordination of the federal operations and resources, establishment of reporting requirements, and conduct of the ongoing communications with the federal, state, local, and tribal governments, the private sector, and NGOs. All right. A pandemic will present unique challenges to the coordination of the federal response. First and foremost, the types of support that the federal corporation will provide to the nation are of different kind and character than those it traditionally provides to communities damaged by natural disasters. Second, although it may occur in discrete waves in any locale, discrete waves means secretively waves in one locale, the national impact of a pandemic could last for many months. Finally, a pandemic is sustained public health and medical emergency that will have sustained and profound consequences for the operation of critical infrastructure, the mobility of people and freight, and the global economy. Health and medical considerations will affect foreign policy, international trade and travel, domestic disease containment efforts, continuity of operations within the federal corporation, and many other aspects of federal response. They are telling you, see, they have already pre-planned that. Okay? Pursuant to the NRP as the primary agency and coordinator for the emergency support function, number 8, public health and medical services, the Secretary of Health and Human Services will lead federal health and medical response efforts and will be the principal federal spokesperson for public health issues, coordinating closely with the DHS on public messaging pertaining to the pandemic, pursuant to HSPS-5 as the principal federal official for domestic incident management. The Secretary of Homeland Security will provide coordination for the federal operations and the resources, establish reporting requirements, and conduct ongoing communications with federal, state, local, and tribal governments, the private sector, and the NGOs. In the context of response to a pandemic, the Secretary of Homeland Security will coordinate overall non-medical support and response actions and ensure necessary support to the Secretary of Health and Human Resources coordination of the public health and medical emergency. All right. So guys, I mean, you could go ahead and read this for yourself. All right. I will make sure like I said, I've put this in the chat for you, but I just wanted to specifically go back to letting you know, all right, that where they're telling you that a pandemic will come. Okay. They're not telling you that it will come. And here it is. So this is something that was already put in place. All right. Now, let me share my screen. You have the documents, read it for yourself. So y'all don't think Chief Kalanago is a conspiracy theorist. Okay. Here we are. So another document, just to show y'all here for a second. All right. Let me share this. Let me share this. And all that stuff I put in there for y'all, okay? Another document. And that's coming from also the National Library of Medicine, okay? National Library of Medicine, and that is the site, everything is there, .gov, patent, and all that, okay? Now, National Center for Biotechnology Information. So this is biotechnology, okay? Keep in mind. Severe acute respiratory syndrome, coronavirus. Patent. This is the patent number right there. Why do you have a patent for the coronavirus? That means that somebody created this and somebody owns this. You see, y'all better wake up and see what's going on, man. Y'all better wake up and realize what's going on. This is an art of war on people across the world. But no, you know what? Chief Kalanago don't know what he's talking about. He's a conspiracy theorist. Well, I'm giving you the information here, okay? Severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus, patent number US-2006 2578 25-A1. Now, I'm not sure if the 2006 is when it was created, but I don't know. Okay, I don't want to make any assumptions. Now, the inventor, okay, Rapuli Reno, IT, okay, Masignini Vega, IT, Stadler Conrad, AU, Grieger Sin Jens, PDE, I don't know what all that means, and what? Kien David, US. Now, I don't know if those are countries where IT means Italy, AU means Australia, DE means Denmark, and I assume US means the United States. Now, if I click on more, it tells you all the names of the inventors. Okay, here we are. Yes, those are actually the countries. And then we have Han Wang, US, Polo Wang, US, Polo John, US, Weiner Amy, US, Houghton Michael, US, Sung Hyun C, US, Siu Mi Young, Korea, Don Nelly John, US, Klein Hans DE, I'm assuming that's Denmark, and Valiente Nicholas, US. Those are the creators. They are the inventors. Okay? Signee, the US. Chiron Corp, US. Date, priority, 2003 of January, February, March, April 10th. Okay? Now, this web page summarizes the information in the PubChem about patent of US-2006 257852-A1. This includes the chemicals mentioned as reported by the PubChem contributions, as well as other content such as title, abstract, and international patent clarification and codes. To read more about this page was constructed, please visit blah, blah, blah. You see, they have to put this out there because they have to let you know. Remember, all this stuff is voluntary. They cannot just implement it on the people without the people consenting to that. But I'm going to break it down even further. Okay. Number one, abstract. An outbreak of virulent respiratory virus, now known as severe acute respiratory syndrome, SARS, was identified in Hong Kong, China, and a growing number of countries around the world in 2003. The invention relates to the nucleic acids and proteins from the SARS coronavirus. That's why it deals with the spike protein. These nucleic acids and proteins can be used in the preparation and manufacture of vaccine formulations, diagnostic reagents, kits, etc. That's why they have those testing kits. Okay. The invention also provides methods for treating SARS by administering small molecule antiviral compounds, as well as methods of identifying potent small molecules for treatment of SARS. Full text, if you want to read that here, that's there as well. Okay. Important dates, primary dates, filing date, all that stuff is there. Okay. Filing date 2004, publication date 2006. The inventors, I already went through that. The assignee, the linked chemicals. Okay. If we let me see, linked chemicals. If we type on that, what happens? All right, here we are with the linked chemicals. Okay. The PubChem compounds. All right. Here we are. The compound, the name, the molecule formula, the molecule weight. All right. So you have all these different compounds and their names. For instance, we have this one here. Let us copy, let us see, let us look that up. Search that on Google and see what that is. Okay. Let me see. Learn about, let me see. I'm trying to see if I can find out what that is. Okay. Ritonavir is an antiretroviral protease inhibitor that is widely used in a combination of other proteases in the therapy and prevention of human immunodeficiency virus, HIV infection, and the acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, AIDS. Okay, so you don't know what these people are putting in you. That's number one. Okay, what does that they have that in I think the AIDS whatever. Why is that in the coronavirus vaccine? That's my question. Those are the compounds that they have in there. All right, let us look at another one. Let us look at another one. All right, let's search that on let's search that again. Boom. See if it come up. Pretty much. And here's another one. Let me see. Is that the same one I just looked up? No, that's another one. Lopinavir. Lopinavir is an antiretroviral of the protease inhibitor class. It is used against HIV infections as fixed dose combinations with other combinations of. So again, why are people being treated with HIV so-called cures with a coronavirus? So is this another upgraded version of AIDS, HIV? Family, man, y'all better wake up, and if y'all don't want to do y'all research and see what's going on, that's on y'all. Okay, that's on y'all. Let us go look at the next one. Okay, the next one is dexamethasone or fasone. Let us look that up. Look that up and see what that is. Okay, what is dexamethasone? All right, dexamethasone is a corticosteroid or steroid used in a wide range of conditions for its anti-inflammatory and whatever, immune no suppressant effects. I don't even know what all that means. All right. But they got it in there as well. All right. They got it in there as well. Let us see what else they have. They have another one, methylprednisolone. Guys, forgive me if I'm not from the medical field, so forgive me if I'm butchering these words, okay? What is the drug? Methylprednisolone used to treat, okay? In it relieves inflammation, swelling, heat, redness, and pain, and used to treat contain forms of arthritis, skin, blood, kidney, eye, thyroid, and intestinal disorders, severe allergies, and whatever the case may be. Now, let me see if there are any side effects to that. Side effects. All right. Now, side effects. Okay. Methylprednisolone, whatever that is, may cause side effects. Tell your doctor if any of these symptoms are severe or do not go away. Upset stomach, stomach irritation, vomiting, headache, dizziness, insomnia, restlessness, depression. There's more. Okay. There's more. There's a whole lot more. Okay. Anxiety, acne, increased hair growth. All right. Easy bruising, irregular or absent menstrual periods. Okay. If you experience any of the following symptoms, call your doctor. Skin rash, swollen face, lower legs or ankles swollen. All right, with your legs and face swollen and all that. Vision problems, cold or infection that lasts a long time, muscle weakness, black or tarry stool. Family, I'm telling you, man, it's just so much to look at. All right, so much to look at. Those are some of the side effects that we have to deal with these situations right here. Okay, now let me go to another one. Here we go. I guess I gotta share my screen because what I was sharing, you guys was hearing me, but you couldn't see it. Okay, let me go ahead and share the screen. Share the screen. Boom. Let us go look at that and let us see that. Okay, here we are. Whatever that's pronounced, thalidomide or mide is a sedative drug discovered at the end of the 50s, which caused a worldwide tragedy. The drug has been prescribed to many pregnant women in order to relieve pregnancy nausea. But hear what it says. Thalidomide or mide is a sedative drug that at the end of the 50s, which caused a worldwide tragedy. So why is that in the vaccine? You see what I'm saying? Let's look at the side effects. Man, y'all think this is a game, man. Y'all think this is a game. Look at the side effects of this. All right? Side effects. Fever, blood cell count, low blood cell counts, headaches, dizziness, drowsiness, weakness, tired feeling, anxiety, agitation, confusion, numbness, tremors, muscle weakness, nausea, loss of appetite, constipation, weight gain or loss, swelling, trouble breathing. Let us click on that some more. All right? Close that out. Okay, here we are. Signs of bleeding, easy bruising, nosebleeds, bleeding gums, bloody or tarry stools, coughing up blood or vomit that looks like coffee grounds, signs of stroke or blood clot, sudden numbness or weakness, problems with vision or speech, chest pain, shortness of breath, swelling of redness in an arm or leg, heart attack symptoms, chest pain spreading to your jaw or your shoulder, nausea, sweating, low blood cell counts, okay, fever, chills, flu-like symptoms, swollen gums, mouth sores, skin sores, signs of tumor, cell breakdown. I mean, it goes on, fever, headache, dizziness, anxiety, weight loss, family. All those things are in what we are taking in these vaccines. Well, I'm not taking it, period. Okay, but I'm just showing you what's in those things. Okay, I'm just showing y'all what's in there. Now, let us go back again. All right, so we did that. Let us go for another one. And I'm talking about family. If y'all think this is a game, let me share my screen again, man. Let me share my screen again because y'all don't know how serious this is. Okay, look at this. The amount of compounds that they have in these vaccines. Look, I'm talking about literally over 300 and something different compounds. Do you know what you're putting in your body? Huh? Look at all the compounds. Here's another one. Thalidomide. Let us see what that is. Thalidomide. Let us pull that up. Let us pull that up. Okay. Thalidomide is a sedative drug discovered at the end of the 50s that caused. That's another one. It's the same thing as what I just read previously. All right, so let's go to another one. I think I did that before. Let us go to number 2. Ribavirin. Let us see what that is. Man, y'all better, man, listen, man. Let us pull that up. Ribavirin is used with an infrared medication such as progesterone alpha-2A or a progesterone alpha-2B to treat hepatitis C in people who have not been treated with an interferon before. It's classified as an antiviral medication called that. Let us look at the side effects. Side effects, because that's what we have to look at. All right, let me stop sharing my screen and I'm going to share the side effects for you again. No matter what they tell you, there is always a side effect. All right, and the side effect is potentially worse than what you have. Okay, let us look at it. Side effects: cough, upset stomach, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, heartburn, loss of weight, weight loss. I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on and on and on. Family, I'm not going to read everything for you. Okay, you have the information. Read it yourself. All right. Changing the ability to taste food, dry mouth, difficulty concentrating, difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep, memory loss. You see, rash, dry, irritated or itchy skin, sweating, painful or irregular menstruation period. All right. Muscle or bone pain, hair loss, hives, swelling of the face, throat, tongue, lips, eyes, hands, feet, ankles, or lower legs. All right, hoarseness, difficulty swallowing or breathing, pain or in the stomach or in the lower back, bloody diarrhea, bright red blood in the stools, black tarry stools, stomach bloating, confusion, dark colored urine, yellowing of the skin or the eyes, unusual bleeding or bruising, vision changing, fever, chills, and other signs of infection, depression, thinking about hurting or killing yourself, mood changes, excessive worry, irritability, starting to use street or drugs or alcohol again if you use these substances in the past. All right. Intolerance to cold. Family, y'all think this is a game, man? And I'm talking about over 300 and something. If you go to 300 and something, I'm telling you, it's just so many of them. Okay. They have some of them that don't even have a name. It's just a formula. All right. Just a formula. Let me pull up this one right here and see exactly what that is. Man, y'all don't, man, listen, man. Y'all better stop playing. Okay. Look at this formula, whatever that is. Now, this formula I just put up, it's molecule weight. Let me see. Let me see. Man, this is. Let me see. Classification, structure, chemical names, and chemical. I'm telling y'all, man, this is crazy, yo. Side effects. Know that it is used representing fractional general formula. Right, the answer is image clear to doubt, instantly solution of value, step-by-step solutions. Da, 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 da. Man, listen, they have formulas in this thing, all right, that they don't even have information coming on. I mean, to come up with. You see what I'm saying? It's just crazy. They just have a formula, So I'm gonna stop sharing right now, but I want to go over one more thing with y'all. Okay, one more thing, and then I'm gonna let y'all get out of here because y'all got to see the severity of what we're dealing with. Okay, and then they don't just have the compounds; they also have substances. All right, substances. So we went through the compounds. Now we are talking about more stuff, which is substances. We ain't even touched that yet. We just went through the compounds. Now they have different substances. Okay, they have over 730 substances. Oh man, y'all think this is a game? Okay, and they have linked genes. All right. Let me see. They have corneodismal, some human, carbopeptide this human, and they have another 70 something of that. All right. Let us see exactly what that is. Man, I'm telling y'all, man, this is crazy, bro. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. This is not just crazy. It's scary. Okay. It is scary. All right. It is scary. And y'all better research them things. All those side effects is crazy. Which, man, this is creates a protein that is human encoded in the city that the human encoded protein found in which localize human epidemics and other confined during the maturation of the years of later. I thought the gene is located in the histo region of the chromosomes. Man. Anyway, family, man, listen, I'm just disgusted. You see what I'm saying? And then they have the patent family here, of course. All right, the patent family, Australia, California. I mean, they have a whole list of them, the classifications of the inventive, whatever. I mean, CPC, whatever that means. I mean, it's a whole lot of citations cited by. They're giving you they also have similar patents. Okay, similar patents here as well. Okay, US that Australia that. If we click on this one, for instance, what does that come up with? The Zika RN virus family. If y'all think I'm making this up, this is another similar patent that they have. Okay, I just clicked on a similar patent. This is patent. The Zika RNA vaccines is patent as well. Hmm? The date. Come on, man. Come on. Look, it's all here. It's all here. Okay. Priority date 2015. Filing date 2018. Publication date 2019. Grant date, the date it was granted 2019. The inventors, boom, they right here in the US, the US, the US, the US. Man, let's go back again. Let's go back here. I want to go back to I know a lot of you. I hope you guys don't find this boring, man, because this is serious stuff. All right, cited date citations, similar patents. Let's go to another similar patent. All right, JP2, whatever, whatever, whatever. Let's tap on that. Boom. Prefusion RSV proteins and their use. All right, Inventor. I mean, it's just crazy. This is crazy, man. This is just crazy. All these things you could find in nature, all right, to remedy people. And then you're giving people these things you're creating in labs. Okay? In labs. Man. All right. So anyway, they have another one here. It says methods for induction of immune responses in the subject compromising administering virus-like particles (VLPS) prepared from chikungunya virus structural proteins. I mean, they got stuff coming up we ain't even hear about yet. We ain't even hear about yet. So that's why I tell y'all, this is just the beginning, man. This is just the beginning. So I put that in the chat for you guys, so you guys could go ahead and check it out yourself. Do your own research. Don't believe anything that I show you. Go ahead and do your own thing. All right. Let me show you another link before I get out of here. All right. Share this with y'all. Okay. Boom. Another one. Here we are. Okay. That's also from the National Library of Medicine. Okay. Here we are. A case study of analysis of patents on coronavirus and COVID-19 for technological assessment and future research. All that stuff is in there. Affiliations, the abstract, the background. Protecting the intellectual property rights are important and particularly pertinent for the inventions that are an outcome of rigorous research and development. While the grant of patents is subject to establishing novelty and inventive step, it further indicates the technological development and is helpful for researchers working in the same technical domain. The aim of the present research work is to map the existing work through an analysis of patent literature in the field of coronavirus, CoV, particularly COVID-19, is a large family of virus known to cause illness in humans and animals, particularly known for causing respiratory infections, as evidence in earlier times, such as MERS, Middle East Respiratory Syndrome, CRS, severe acute respiratory syndrome. A recently identified novel coronavirus known as COVID-19 has caused pandemic situations across the globe. Objections to expand the analysis of patents relate to CoV and 2019 CoV. An evaluation has conducted a patenting trends of particular strains of identified COVID diseases by present legal status, main concerned countries via the earliest priority years, etc., 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 etc. Okay, so Darbical kits by the Delta company treatment. It was also observed that no specific vaccine treatment. And now check this out. This is important. That's why I wanted to show you guys this. Results. All right, results. Okay, results. Very important. Present analysis shows that the key areas of the inventions were the vaccines and the diagnostic kits. Apart from the composition for the treatment of the CoV, it was also observed that that no specific vaccine treatments are available for the treatment of 2019 CoV. However, developing novel chemical or biological drugs and kits for early diagnosis, prevention, and disease management is the primary governing topic among the patented inventions. The present study also indicates potential research opportunities for the future, particularly to combat the CoV. Conclusion. All right, give me a second here. My battery is about to. Let me just put that on the charger real quick. I'm almost done, guys. I'm about to conclude this in a second. Let me just put this on the charger. Because y'all think this is a game, man. This is not a game. Okay? Let me put this on the charger real quick. And then we'll conclude this call. All right? I'll finish this up. Here's my charger here. All right, here we are. So let me just finish this up for you guys, okay? Now, conclusion. The present paper analyzes the existing patents in the field of coronavirus and 2019 and suggests a way forward for the effective contribution in this upcoming research area. from trends analysis and increase in the filing of the overall trend of patent families was observed for the period of 2010 to the current year. The what is that? The multifaceted or faceted analysis of identified patents literature provides an understanding of the focuses on present ongoing research and a gray area in terms of the trends of technological innovations and disease management in the patents of COV and 2019 and COV. Furthermore, the findings and outcome of the present study offer insights for the proposed research and innovation opportunities and provide actionable information in order to facilitate policymakers, academia, research-driven institutions, and also inventors to make better decisions regarding program steps, development, and that. But anyway, guys, here you have it. Okay, I want to conclude on saying this. All right, let me stop sharing my screen. I want to conclude by saying this, that remember, this is all about commerce. Okay, this is all about commerce. And what do I mean by that? What do I mean by that is that's experiments on people that exist with the birth certificate. This thing doesn't apply. Okay, their rules, okay, and their regulations and what they're doing with all this, it doesn't apply to men and women. It only applies to what they have subject over. Unbeknownst to our parents, they gave us away on these birth certificates. Okay, so did it, so the how would I put it? The legal person, okay, is obligated to these rules. Okay, the rules that they're doing, whatever they're enforcing, the legal person is subjected to that. In other words, what's on that piece of paper, what's on that birth certificate, what's on that ID, that is what's obligated to that. They have subject over that. But man and woman, okay, have a right not to consent to these people. And therefore, they cannot violate your creator given rights by forcing you to do anything you think that's immoral. Period. Okay? As long as you don't claim to be that what's on that piece of paper, that's not you. That's a legal person. That's why everything they're doing, they're calling it law. No, it's not law. It's legal, but it's not law. And that legal person that you think you are is contracted, is bonded. So no matter what happens to you, whether you stay alive or not, they're going to get paid. As long as that exists. So you see, that's the type of world we're living in. The system. The system is the mark of the beast, not a number 666. So I hope you guys found some value in this. I'm about to conclude this call. I've been here for almost an hour now. All right. Told myself I wanted to, be about 60 minutes. And it seems like I'm right on time with that. Okay, so I did put that information in there for y'all. Y'all could go back and get it again. All right, and go ahead and, like I said, do your own research. Don't believe anything that I say. All right, information is there. Go ahead and do your own research. I told y'all turn this news off. Take some time because we're living in some troublesome times. Okay, we are living in some troublesome times, and we have to know what we are doing with those things. Okay, we have to know. Let me see. We have to know. Okay, so I already did that. I want to give y'all this one again, which I already did, but I'm gonna do it again. Here we are. Okay, it's all there for y'all. So, guys, I want to thank y'all for being a part of this build. I'm showing all this to let you know, that all this was orchestrated, all right, because they know the time. We are living in the last days, and not in the last days in the context of what religion wants you to think, that the world is going to end. The world is not going anywhere. For the world to go anywhere, that means we have to go somewhere, because the world came from us. The universe came from within us. It's a manifestation of what's inside of us. You see what I'm saying? If we were able to go into ourselves, we would see everything that we see outside of us. So therefore, and we are immortal. All right. We are living, we are life. And they cannot destroy life, because you cannot destroy life. You cannot destroy intelligence. You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, okay, all they could do is try to contain you, try to let you live in fear. That's what it's all about. When you live in fear, you will not acknowledge the God in you. That's why they tell you to fear God. You see what I'm saying? Why would you want to be afraid of God? Why would you want to be afraid of your parents? You see what I'm saying? It's just everything they're teaching you. All you have to do is just use your basic sense of reasoning. Do some conductive reasoning and separate the message from the BS that they teach you. Why would I want to be afraid of my father or my mother? You see what I'm saying? And that's what they're teaching you. Be afraid of God. Be afraid of yourself. So when they inject this fear that they are putting out there, then guess what? You are afraid. So now fear is false evidence appearing real. So now what you're doing is, because it's false, but you are giving it life. Now it's becoming evident. It's becoming your reality. We could beat this. The victory is there for us, but we have to step up and take the victory. You see what I'm saying? Let us not lay down on our backs and allow these people to just do what they want with our lives. I just showed you they have over 700 something compounds that they have in these vaccines. All these things are patent. So therefore, what, somebody's getting paid on that. Somebody's getting paid on your demise. Somebody's getting paid on that. And the funny thing is, you cannot hold them liable. You see what I'm saying? Because you are not in position. Okay? You are not in position to make a decision for that legal entity, that legal person. You did. That's what they are telling you. Because they own that property. You see what I'm saying? Our parents signed us away. They gave us away. So we were taught and lied to make us think that we are what's on that piece of paper. But that's not you. That is a legal person that they created. That's a fictional entity that they created. And we going around talking about that's us. That's not you. Okay? That's not you. That's not you. And if everybody just made up their mind and say, we know that's not us, and you have a right to self-identify, create your own identification if you so choose to. But identification is not necessary, because all I am here is me telling you that I am that I am. You see, if we have to go back to the word, you see what I'm saying? But a lot of you walked away from the word because you didn't quite comprehend the word. You see what I'm saying? When you know the word and you know all what it means, you could stand on the word and be victorious because you know what it means. You see what I'm saying? But you came into some knowledge and you threw away the Bible. You see, I was there too, where I threw away my Bible, but I had to go back and pick it up because I didn't quite comprehend it. You see what I'm saying? I was seeking and searching and hear what everybody was saying and that, but I know I have to seek and find for myself. And the book is a powerful weapon that you could use for you, or you could use it against you if you don't know exactly what the message is. And again, I'm not saying that it was written by a sky daddy. No, it was written by man with their own self-fulfilled prophecy. But my question to you always is, did you get the message? That is the key, is the message. It's not who wrote it. I don't care about that. I don't care about the contradictions. What I care about is I see what's happening. I see where it's going. I know from reading the book, I got a better understanding of who I am. You see what I'm saying? Knowing exactly what it means, not just from a religious perspective, but from a metaphysical perspective, from a philosophical perspective. You see what I'm saying? And even from a perspective of the theologians. You see what I'm saying? Even from the Gnostics. So putting all that together, I tell people I could break down that book like I could break down anything. Like I was a mechanic and I could break down a car and build it back up with my eyes closed. Because why? I had to go within myself, to look within, see with my eyes within, to see beyond the pages of the distractions and the lies and the contamination that was put in there. And I rose above that. So now everything is as clear as day to me. I know what it is because I found myself, not the physical man, but I found the spiritual man. And now they're in sync. They are married. They are one. You see what I'm saying? So you guys got to know what all this stuff means, man. Know what it means. But just know that you are victorious. You are great. You are superb. And no weapons formed against you shall prosper if you truly put that affirmation on there and you stand on that and not just believe that it's real, but know that it's real. And they shall not be victorious. When it's all said and done, we will be standing. We are the ones that will be standing. Okay? So, people, let me tell you something. You don't have to have all these big set of documents, people making it seem all complicated to walk in your proper status. All you have to do is speak it. You see what I'm saying? All this, we got to do, people hit me up, Chief, how do I correct my status? Man, you speak it. That's how you correct your status. Status is a state of mind. It's not on a piece of paper. Because no matter what you put on a piece of paper, if they want to reject it, they'll reject it. But at the same time, there's nothing wrong in putting them on notice. It's very simple. I'm a man, I'm a woman, and I have dominion over everything. That alone in itself is already a declaration. Period. You see how simple that was? Why do you think on Facebook and YouTube, I'm always saying that I'm a man, that I'm a God, because I'm making a public declaration? You think I'm just saying that because of ego? No. I'm saying that to the world because I'm making my declaration. It is really that simple. And anytime they violate, a man or a woman, I'm not talking about that legal person, because they have every right to breach the contract if they so choose with that legal person. Why? Because it is a unilateral contract. It was created just for their benefit, not for you. Okay? Not for you. You were supposed to be a beneficiary, but you gave that right away. Okay? But being a man or a woman, they have no right, and they know this, to violate your right as a living natural being, because they know there are spiritual consequences for that. So all you have to do is speak it and walk in it. There goes your status correction. It is really that simple. That simple. Now, if you want to take it a step further and create an ID, then you have a right to do that as well. Nobody have a right to tell you who you are. Okay? Nobody. I don't care who it is. Not even your mother or your father. Because that's a name they gave you. You didn't give it to yourself. And you have a right to change that if you want to. And you don't need nobody's permission to change that. The only problem is this. We have to find a way, to feed ourselves, provide shelter for ourselves and clothe ourselves. Once we are able to do that, these people ain't got no power over us. You feel me? That's how you get your power back. That's it. Nobody could tell you, that's not a legal ID. You're right, it's not legal because I'm not part of your legal society, but it's lawful because I'm telling you who I am. You see, it's all in the words. It's all in the words. It's all in the words. And when you become a wordsmith, okay, when you become a mental magician, okay, when you become a magi, then guess what? You will see the miracles. You will see the magic happen right between your eyes. You will see them bow to you. Facts over feelings. So don't get into a frenzy worrying about status correction and you have to do 1,247 pages. You don't have to do all of that, family. You don't have to do all of that. Just speak who you are. All right? What did the God in the Bible say? When Moses asked him what was his name, what he said, I am that I am, and that shall be my name forever. If we all walk around and say, I am that I am, nobody could tell us a jack, nothing, period. All of us could create an ID and put on it, I am that I am. Why? Because we are what our creators are. You feel me? If you go back 20 years ago or 20 million years ago and you look at a dog, and a dog was a dog 20 million years ago, what would it be in 2021? It will be a dog. If you went 10 million years ago and you found a horse, what would a horse be in 2021? A horse would be a horse. So if you were created in the likeness and image of your creator, what you call God, then guess what you are? You are a God. And if the God said that my name is I am that I am, and if I was created in the likeness of I am that I am, it means that I'm a direct reflection, a direct image of I am that I am. So therefore I am that I am. And let any man dispute that in any court. Any man or woman, let them dispute that. You see, y'all got to stand on the knowledge, be able to stand on the ledge. That's why I tell you, if you are not living on the edge, you're taking up too much space in society. You have to live on the edge. You got to know the ledge so you're able to walk as a man or a woman. They have no authority over men and women. They have authority over persons. I'm done. I love y'all though. So y'all better recognize, man, what it is. And it's just the passion in me. I'm not upset, family. It's just the passion in me. I'm just so tired of seeing people going through this, man. You see what I'm saying? And I just wish that I could just take 1 million people and just give them my mind. Not even 1 million people. Just about 10,000 people and just give them my mind and watch this world transform. I'm telling you. Because you are. You see what I'm saying? We are spending time focused. It's okay to identify as the original indigenous Americans. You see what I'm saying? But that's just a physical manifestation. That's just a physical title. Those are all titles. Let us be who we truly are, which is we are gods, man, manifest in the flesh. And then if you say that's what you are, okay, nobody have a right to violate that. You see what I'm saying? Don't matter what you do, you stand on that. You get stopped as long as you're not, first of all, okay, as long as you are not damaging anyone's property, as long as you're not hurting anyone, causing them injury, as long as you're not defrauding anyone, you haven't broken any laws. And even if that happens, you have every right to do what? Go to your fellow man or woman and make an attempt to work it out before it goes to the court. All that stuff is in the Bible, man, in the allegorical Bible. That's why I tell y'all, did you get the message? That's why I keep asking you, have you gotten the message? See past all the fluff. Look for the message, family. Look for the message. It is really that simple. It is really that simple. Everything else, you are not breaking any laws. Those are just regulations that the person have to be obliged to. The person is subjected to that, not the man or the woman. But you think you are the person. That's the problem. That is the problem. You think you are the person. And when you say you are the person, then they have jurisdiction over the person, but not the man or the woman. It's really that simple. And if everybody, I'm talking about if everybody just stood on that, they wouldn't have enough space to put us in jail. They wouldn't have enough space to put us in jail. If everybody that was confronted by the policymakers, hey, that is not me. Okay? I am the authorized representative for that entity, but that's not me. What do you mean? It means that I'm a man. It means that I'm a woman. You see how simple that was? That's simple. That's it. All right. So, guys, I think I've said more than a mouthful. Okay. So, if you guys found some value in this, man, do me a favor. Just go ahead and type some ones in the chat. You know what I mean? I'm just flowing in the spirit right now, man. All right. I'm like Moses, man. I'm here to say, let my people go. It's time for Babylon to let my people go, man. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about the righteous ones. I don't care what you look like. Because every ethnic group is going through this. Like I told y'all before, this is business. You see what I'm saying? It is business. It is commerce. That's what it is. Nothing but commerce. That's it. Okay? So, I hope I didn't go too deep with that one. Okay? I hope I didn't go too deep on that one. But I want y'all to know, man, I love y'all, man. All right? And don't be afraid, okay? Don't be afraid with a man with a gun. You feel me? Once you don't give the man with the gun power over you, then he know he's defeated. You see what I'm saying? Because remember, you're not the flesh. I know it's kind of tough sometimes to fathom that, right? I know it's kind of hard. You see, when you look at the movie Rocky, right? It doesn't matter how much Apollo Creed was pounding and pounding and pounding on Rocky. Every time Rocky fall down, Rocky got up because Rocky was saying, nah, you could beat that body, but you're not going to beat my mind. And when Rocky woke up for the first time, you should have seen the look on Apollo's face. He's like, uh-oh, I know I lost because this man is a beast. Once again, did you get the message? You see what I'm saying? So they could abuse, and that's the story. That's the story of the allegorical Jesus. You see, Jesus came and told y'all, once again, it doesn't matter whether you call him Yeshua. I don't care what you call it. You see what I'm saying? I don't care what you call it. It's an allegorical story to represent your journey, what you have to go through. And Jesus said, I don't care what you do. You could tempt me with everything in the world. Give me all the big buildings. Tell me this, and you will give me all the wealth. I don't want that. You see what I'm saying? You could beat me. You could spit in my face. You could crucify me. I know I have to go through all that to come out on top. You see what I'm saying? You could never find a diamond without going through the rough. But what you don't know is you are a diamond. You see what I'm saying? The Christ in you is just waiting to come through, but you have to go through the persecution. You have to go through the crucifixion. And you have to make up your mind because it's mind over matter. Why you think when people tell you it's mind over matter? Because your mind is not the matter. You see what I'm saying? The matter is the experience of what the mind is perceiving. You dig? So keep that in mind. I promise you, if you make up your mind, and somebody could literally punch your lights out 1,000,000 times and you decide it's not pain to me, it will not be pain. You see, it's all perception. That's why people are able to train and train, and it doesn't matter how much you try to break them. You could waterboard them, you could break their fingers, their toes. Guess what? They will scream, they will shout, but they will not break in. They will not give in. Why? Because they know they were trained to know that I'm not the flesh. Do as you may with it. Persecute it, crucify it, but I promise you, I will come out the Christ. That's it, fam. That's it. All right. So y'all be good to each other, man. Just continue to love and let's continue to look out for each other. That's all we could do at this point right now. All right. Let us stop being each other's enemies. Okay. I don't care again what you look like. We all got to come together because guess what? We are all slaves to this system. We were all enslaved. From the moment you have a birth certificate, you're a slave. Okay. Facts over feelings. It's really that simple. But you have to be the master of that slave. That's the problem. Okay. That's the problem. Our parents give them ownership over the slave, which is the body. You see, so now you have to take back control of that, rescind that contract. And you could do that in a spiritual way. You could do that in a physical way. You see what I'm saying? Because they got their gatekeepers where they will not want you to go file their documents. File your documents, at the county clerks. They're not doing their jobs. You see what I'm saying? So you have to be creative if you want to do it that way. But first, you have to claim who you are as the master first within your mind and let it manifest in the universe and speak it out so that it will become flesh. You see what I'm saying? So they will no longer have power over you, the man or the woman, and even more so your person, because that person is the kingdom of what's inside of you. It doesn't belong to them. It was given to them, but it's yours. It's yours. And you should be the earthly master of that slave. That's your slave. It's just so many ways to break it down. The metaphysical meaning of all this is not even funny. Okay. All right, guys. So once again, man, listen, share the information, talk to as many people as you can. And we are going to come out of this. We are going to be all right. In fact, we are okay, not going to be all right. We are just fine. All right. Let's keep on pressing. Let's keep on pushing. Let's reach out to our ancestors, man. Ask them to, just give us the strength, the determination, all right, and protect us. Give us the guidance. Show us ways to defeat this enemy. You feel me? And I promise you, family, they will show up in more ways than one. They will show up. You did? Because the physical body is not in control. All right, the physical body is not in control. We have the power and we have the ability to go into the enemy's mind, okay, and let the enemy destroy itself. Family, we are so powerful, man. I'm telling you, y'all just don't know how powerful we are. So many things that we could do without even picking up a gun or a knife. You feel me? We were so powerful. We could look at one of our enemies and paralyze them just by our thoughts. You feel me? We got to go back to the mental magic. That's how powerful we are. But that was taken away from us. All right? Just so y'all know. So we'll talk a little later, man. I love y'all.